The initial call was there was 10 firefighters stuck on a rock in the Pacific Ocean near Del Norte County. There was approximately 9 rescuers, a mixture of EMS personnel, law enforcement personnel, who had went down to this rocky area at the bottom of a steep cliff at low tide to provide assistance to a woman who had fell from a rock and suffered major traumatic injuries. And as the tide came in and the wind picked up and the swells picked up, all these people, 11 total, were trapped on this rock in the Pacific Ocean.
The distance was the unusual part. The rescue was what we trained for. So the rescue was actually the least amount discussed because it's what we trained to do.
We got out, configured the ship, set up the long line, and Chris and I flew out and made contact. Paul took us right over the top of the rock, gently dropped us right on top of the rock. We disconnected, made contact with the 9 rescuers that were there stuck on the rock, and they're pretty dang happy to see us.
So what we do is I do what's called vertical reference long line, where I actually look to the ground and use references, hence vertical reference. And we all train with hand signals, so they guide me. They're my eyes for the bottom, which is 100 feet below me, and they just had me precisionally take them where they needed to go. Once I put them on the rock, they disconnected and I backed off about 100 feet. And because it was dark, I used the night sun that we have, which is a 50 million candle powered light to light up the entire area so they can operate down there.
Is we do what's called, it's a Bowman bag. It's basically like a small hammock that they wear as a vest that they're belted into, so we don't have to rely on them to do anything. We identified the ones that needed to go first. It was a real quick brief and telling them how we're going to do it. Chris ended up giving the pickup signal, talked to Paul, and Paul flew that line right into his hand the first shot. It was perfect.
So I stayed on the long line for the first 4 trips, made a total of 5, and I took 2 victims with me, 4 trips, and Don stayed with them and he briefed them as as Paul and I were transporting the victims to the LZ.
I think it was 16 minutes to get 9 people off the rock, from landing, briefing, setting the ship up, doing the rescue, and landing back to where everybody was off the rock. I think it was 16 minutes, so it worked out quite well.
If we get an award, it's one of those deals where, wow, this is great for the unit. This helps promote us. This helps let the county know, the citizens, that their money that they pay for is going to good use. But I know when I get up in the morning, I don't say, hey, I'm going to go do a rescue so I can get an award. If we did that, we would fail almost every single time.
This was just like any other kind of training, like I said, so I don't really consider it anything real heroic. It was a great set of circumstances, a great outcome with some good people. We got a chance to rescue some of our own, and that's the best part of it right there, knowing that they're home, they're doing good, and they're back on the job doing the job they love, and here we are doing this, so it's a good feeling.